and welcome. I'm Speed Cruz, and this is Rappler Talk. After months of asserting his congressional bid was valid, Duterte Youth Chairman Ronald Cardema made a move to withdraw his nomination last week. Now, the twists and turns of Duterte Youth's bid to end up in Congress have been widely criticized by the public, but are they in the clear? With this latest move, here to speak to us about this today is election lawyer Emil Marañon. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hello, good morning sa lahat.
Morning, sir. So what many people in the public may not know is that you represented youth groups who from the very beginning have opposed Cardema's bid. You filed petitions to cancel this nomination, to block the new nominees, and even cancel the party's registration.
Yes.
Why did you decide to take on this case?
Well, sa amin kasi as election lawyers, apart from the fact sometimes sa may kliyente kami, we also carry our advocacy actually na ayusin yung parang yung election rules natin, election regulations. And we have not seen something as bad as this. Na parang talagang ang term namin parang walang hiya talaga yung ginawa. Na sobrang nababoy actually yung sistema na it's parang ang sakit sa puso na hindi namin gawa ng paraan or actually hindi to kontrahin. Kasi medyo ang sama ng dating eh.
In what way, sir? I mean, of course, that's what many people were saying from the very beginning because things were done last minute, not according to the rules. Yeah. But to what degree or,
how bad it was?
How bad was it?
To give you an example, one of the petitions that we filed is actually the petition to declare nullity of registration of the Duterte youth and or the cancellation of the registration. Bakit petition to declare nullity? Because ang aming theory is that they did not exist in the first place. Because under the law, you know, if you're familiar with the process of registering as a party list, two of the mandatory requirements is one, publication, and the second is hearing. And in this case, even yung Duterte youth as a party list did not go through this process. For us, this is crucial because under the law and under the Constitution, these are jurisdictional requirements. This is the one that vests COMELEC with the jurisdiction to hear and decide yung registration petition nila. And without this, actually, COMELEC cannot do it. So kaya kami nag-file because we're questioning bakit yung in-approve yan in the first place. So ang sabi nga namin sa petition, this is the only party list group in the whole history ng party list system natin na hindi dumaan ng publication at saka ng hearing. Imposibleng mangyari to. To give the public a background of this is that ang nangyari with the Duterte youth is that when they filed their petition to register as a party list group, yung kanilang petition nga hindi pirmado, hindi verified. So sino ba nagpa-file ng petition na walang pirma? Pag normal kang party list group, papasok ka pa lang ng COMELEC, dinidismiss na yung petition mo kasi hindi nga pirmado, di ba?
Which was done in the beginning.
Yes. And second is yung kanilang petition to register, almost half of the documentary requirements are not present. So ang ginawa ngayon ng division is when they filed, they immediately dismissed the petition because nga, kulang-kulang, hindi pirmado and everything. But ang nangyari, they filed a motion for reconsideration with the COMELEC and bank. And what the NBank did was actually reverse the division and immediately approve the registration of Duterte youth. You know, kung alam mo yung proseso, I spent 5 years sa COMELEC, the correct process should have been, dapat binalik ng NBank down to the division level for publication and hearing. As what I've explained kanina, there are, for example, 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dito pa lang sa step 1 yung Duterte youth. Ngayon, ang decision ng NBank was proceed sa 5, skipping steps 2, 3, and 4. So for us, that is fundamentally wrong, and this is precisely why we filed the petition. And the same case with the Cardema petition. We saw paano niya binaboy, paano niya ginim yung withdrawal at saka yung substitution na from na kahit hindi siya qualified to sit as representative ng youth sector, yet nagawa ng paraan na para maging number 1 nominee siya. For us, this is terrible. This never happened sa buong history ng party list system, and it is just proper for us to intervene and actually file the appropriate petition.
Sir, going back a little bit what you said, if there are 5 steps, by approving that, they jumped to step 5. Why, in your opinion, as a lawyer, why did they do this? Or what was the reasoning behind this?
Well, ang very simple reason dun for me is hindi sila prepared when they filed their petition. Kasi nga hindi nga pirmado eh. So basically, parang mukhang sila lang gumawa ng petition nila. And you know, COMELEC was very strict in approving party list group. Ang daming na-deny because of kahit isang kulang, isang dokumento nga lang yung kulang, denied na agad yan. Here, halos wala, almost half ng documentary requirements non-existing. Hindi pa pirmado. So, I myself, hindi ko alam kung paano nangyari yan, paano sila na-approve. So, actually, hindi namin to alam. Nalaman namin later on lang when we were already doing research on the Cardema cancellation case. When we actually started browsing the file, sabi namin, bakit wala tong publication? Una, hindi kami makapaniwala, but apparently it was true. Yeah.
Now, a lot of the petitions also were backed by former poll chair Sixto Brillantes Jr. And I wanted to know, sir, why did he decide to take on also this case as a former poll chair? I mean, that carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, precisely because never nangyari na ganito actually kasama yung situation na binaboy ng husto actually yung party list system. I'm sorry for the word, but that is the reality. We never saw a party list group this brazen na walang hiyaan talaga yung ginawa. So for us, very important yun na mag-intervene kami, and no less than the former chairman of the COMELEC has actually joined me in the petition, which actually tell us na ganito kaseryoso yan, and we have to do something about it.
Right. Now, the latest move that happened was last week, Cardema filed a notice of withdrawal, saying he was not going to be the nominee anymore for Duterte Youth because he wanted a so-called fresh start. What was your initial reaction when you heard about that?
Well, to be honest, expected yan because they already started laying the foundation of this withdrawal eh. So even before pa, remember mo what happened was after we won the cancellation case against him sa division, what happened was yung kanilang nominees 2, 3, 4, and 5 quietly withdrew their nomination actually. And then pumasok na ngayon yung wife niya as nominee number 2. Tapos may pumasok rin sa 3, 4, 5. Ngayon yung question, bakit ginawa na yung wife niya yung naging number 2? First, we must remember na yung wife niya before Cardema was the nominee number 1. So, nung nag-resign yung wife niya, sabi niya, nag-resign ako kasi feeling ko mas deserving daw si Cardema na maging nominee number 1. Okay, out na siya sa picture. All of a sudden, she's coming back now as nominee number 2. Now, the question is, ang sabi namin, ba't kayo pumapasok? Ba't may nagwi-withdraw? Eh, sabi namin, tapos na yung eleksyon. Under Resolution 9366, which is actually the governing rules sa party list system, ang sabi doon, you can only withdraw and you can only substitute before the close of the polls. So when we're talking about the 2019 elections, that would be May 13, 2019 elections. So our question is very simple. Bakit may nagwi-withdraw ng August? Bakit may nagsasubstitute ng August? And we are very saddened to report din sa public na actually the COMELEC has already approved the substitution ng wife, despite the fact nga na yung rules nila sinasabi na you cannot withdraw and you cannot substitute after the polls. Now, this is very crucial. Bakit? Essentially, the COMELEC now rewrites its own rules to accommodate Duterte Youth, just kung ano man yung nangyari dun sa registration nila. For us, ang sama nito because now it will create a precedent. Any party list group now can already file a withdrawal in substitution despite the fact nga na the rules prohibit it, citing yung Duterte Youth. So basically, ang daming rules na nire-write, ang daming rules na na-violate along the process, and kami hindi din namin maintindihan bakit nangyari to and what's special with Duterte Youth. Anak ba sila ng Diyos? Di ba? Anyway. Yeah.
But sir, so the rules are very clear, and the COMELEC is supposed to be abiding by this, right? So what should the public make of this in the sense that there are rules that should be followed, yet it's not the case?
Well, I mean, as lawyers, what we can do is we can exhaust all legal remedies to question yung action ng COMELEC. So, as of now, ang amin na lang remedy na natitira sa amin is we go up to the Supreme Court on a certiorari petition. So, yun yung aming option at this point. However, we have to remember na ang daming pending incidents na. So, parang nagsanga-sanga na to na ang ibang tao nga naguguluhan na sabi, ano na naman yung bago? But ang point namin is ayaw namin itong bitawan eh. Because the reason why many of the public interest cases actually hindi nagsasucceed because ang ibang mga lawyers binibitawan agad after makunan na ng picture and mapublish sa newspaper. But dito, we are very serious nang sinabi namin na we're going to pursue this until the end. So, mas papaguri namin sila kaysa kaming mapagod.
But actually, sir, the first question that comes to mind is, because he made that notice of withdrawal, does it mean that it's the end of the road for Cardema's congressional bid or not necessarily?
Well, ang amin ang problema namin dito is that, number one, he withdraw because alam niya wala na siyang ikakapanalo sa COMELEC and Banque. So, as lawyers, for example, ako at saka yung abogado niya, we both know ano yung situation ngayon. Klarong-klaro naman na he'll never win sa Banque. So, in other words, close na yung chapter for him. So ngayon, ang only niya, I'm pretty sure na ang iniisip nila ngayon is paano nila sisiguraduhin na yung wife niya mauupo ngayon as one. So ngayon, ang ginawa nila, si Cardema mismo withdrew as nominee number 1, hoping siguro na yung wife niya will go up as nominee number 1 and eventually it will be proclaimed. So the moment maproklama kasi yung wife niya as the number 1 nominee and later on as representative of the Duterte Youth to Congress, yung COMELEC controversy na to will close. And tatakbo na ngayon yung habulan namin legally doon sa House of Representatives na. So yun yung problema. So we know na yun yung kanilang way to actually circumvent what's happening.
But let's talk a little bit about the withdrawal itself. And Cardema cited many reasons, but basically public harassment by Commissioner Guanzon, so-called extortion and corruption allegations. Are those valid reasons to even to file a notice of withdrawal?
One thing kasi is that, well, by the way, we have to clarify na we actually opposed the withdrawal of Cardema. Ang reason namin is very simple. Under the law, the moment kasi na mag-submit ka ng list of nominees sa COMELEC, it cannot be changed, it cannot be altered. That's a very specific prohibition in the law. Now, mapapansin mo yung Duterte Youth, nakailang palit sila. Unang palit, pinayagan. Second palit, pinayagan. Eto, kay Cardema lang, papalitan naman siya. Ang tanong namin, asan ngayon yung prohibition doon sa batas? Bakit hindi pina-follow? Diba? So, although nga, sinasabi namin na there's an exception sa law na pwede pagkaroon ng change the list of nominees the moment na may withdrawal. But our theory in there is that the withdrawal should be made in bad faith and there should be a compelling reason. Diba? In this case, ang withdrawal ni Cardema is precisely because he wants the wife to be nominee number 1. Basically, as we said, it's a merry-go-round, basically to game the party list rules. So ngayon, ang reason niya, second, we are questioning, anong reason mo? Diba? Ang sabi niya, he is publicly harassed now or being pressured by a sitting commissioner of COMELEC, that is Commissioner Guanzon. For us, of course, ang problema is it is very easy to accuse people na sinasabi niya na may hinihingan doon ng pera or hinaharas, pinipressure. But yung point namin is that we want COMELEC actually to probe and to inquire whether ba in good faith, may reason ba yung pag-withdraw niya at hindi lang precisely to accommodate yung wife niya. And that is why I think it was already been announced by the COMELEC that this coming Wednesday, September 25 at 2 p.m., the COMELEC actually will hear yung withdrawal ni Cardema. And we will be there to actually inquire whether tama ba, what is the reason for withdrawing, ganyan. And also, it is also his opportunity actually to prove his accusations under oath this time. Hindi na sa TV, hindi na sa social media, hindi na sa interview, but under oath will give him a chance actually to prove and actually make his accusations against the sitting commissioner.
Right.
Para at least magkaalaman, di ba, kung gawa-gawa mo lang yan or totoo yan, let's do it under oath. Di ba? So para matest, di ba?
But what possible scenarios are we looking at after the hearing, let's say? What way could it go?
Well, there are only two possibilities dyan. Number one is the COMELEC will approve
Or deny.
the withdrawal of Cardema or i-deny niya. Ngayon, if in case na i-approve niya, may question ngayon na pwede na bang i-withdraw? Pwede na bang umakyat ngayon yung wife niya as nominee number one? And second, can the wife already be proclaimed as member of the house?
She would be qualified technically.
Yes, because she is
of age.
Of the right age. She's below 30. Yeah. But then again, before it happens, is that we have two existing questions. Una, tama ba na pumasok yung wife niya? Tama ba na in-approve yung substitution ng wife niya? And second, tama ba yung withdrawal ni Cardema? So for us, these are prejudicial issue. And next namin na opposition kasi kay Cardema, very simple lang. Ang gusto kasi, ang nakikita naming reason niya why he is withdrawing as nominee number one is para maging moot in academic yung kanyang case, which is the cancellation, na meron siyang material misrepresentation. Ang sabi namin sa NBank, you cannot allow him to withdraw para ma-defeat yung case niya sa NBank. Bakit?
The MR.
The MR. Yeah. Bakit? Kasi yung finding ng division na merong material misrepresentation, we also use that as a ground for their cancellation. Diba? Under the law kasi, the moment a party list group would make an untruthful statement, the COMELEC can cancel the registration. Now, the division has already a finding that Duterte Youth actually and Ronald Cardema has made material misrepresentation or they lied under oath when they said that Cardema is eligible, yet may finding na hindi siya eligible. So, sanga-sanga na yan. So, that is why it is very important for the NBank to actually rule on the cancellation case against Cardema.
Right. Speaking of cancellation, you also asked the COMELEC to cancel the party's registration. Can you tell us more about this? Why did you decide to do that outside, of course, the whole proceedings of Cardema's own substitution bid?
Because alam namin kasi na yung Cardema na episode na to, hindi naman to nangyari kung hindi to plinano at saka hindi actually nag-collude yung party list group mismo. So, what we're saying is that the liability should not stop with Cardema. It should extend to the whole party who actually planned all of this. So sa amin, this exhibits a ground for their cancellation. But here we are exploring a very unique legal remedy. In fact, this is the first time na gagawin to. This is the petition to declare the nullity of registration of Duterte Youth. Bakit? Anong difference niya with the cancellation ng registration?
What's the difference?
Cancellation of registration presupposes a valid registration. It was just na may ginawa ka after ka ma-register which warrants your cancellation. In this case, our theory is that Duterte Youth did not exist in the first place because nga may defect yung kanilang registration. Because COMELEC and Bank failed actually to consider na hindi nag-publish at hindi nag-undergo ng hearing yung Duterte Youth as a party list group. So therefore, ang theory namin, kung hindi ka nag-publish, hindi ka na-hear, therefore, technically speaking, your registration is void ab initio. It is as if you did not exist. Therefore, we have nothing to cancel because you did not exist eh. However, ang aming prayer is alternative. Sabi namin, number one, ang theory namin is void ab initio kayo, dapat i-declare kayo na you're not existing. However, assuming arguendo na hindi namin na pwedeng questionin yan, nonetheless, here are other grounds for your cancellation. So one of which is making an untruthful statement nga, which is yung Cardema case. Second, we also said na another ground kasi under the law, is the moment you register to represent a particular sector, tapos magta-tridor ka because papasukan mo ng nominee coming from another sector, that's another ground. Why? Because they are registered as a youth sectoral group. However, yung finili nila is actually a representative ng professional sector. So for us, betrayal yan. So that's the second ground. Number three, advocating violence. You know, we were able to get actually yung kopya ng mga Facebook post nila, we are actually threatening the leftist group to be eradicated on the streets. So sabi namin, this is actually short of saying na we're going to kill you all. So for us, that would be tantamount to advocating violence or an act which is against the law.
So just to make it clear, you asked the COMELEC to nullify the registration of
To declare as null.
Yes, to declare as void ab initio, and second is assuming that it cannot be done, we are
Then
seeking the
cancel.
cancellation.
I
So it's
see.
an alternative remedy.
Right.
This is the first time that
Never been.
na ginawa ito. But at the same time, ito lang naman kasi yung one and only party list group sa buong history ng party list system natin na in-approve ng COMELEC na walang publication and hearing. Anyone, any lawyer who applied for registration sa party list group would know kung gaano kamali ito, gaano ka-exceptional yung nangyari sa Duterte Youth.
If let's say it goes that far and it's either declared null or cancelled, what would happen to the Duterte Youth seat that they won in the House?
If
or
it
in
did not
Congress?
exist, you cannot give a seat to a non-existing entity.
And if cancelled?
Yeah. Well, pag cancel, di bang usapan yun? Ang ibibit naming parang yung red line dyan is whether maproklama sila or hindi. If hindi pa sila napoproklama, naunahan sila ng cancellation,
Right.
then that would mean na hindi rin sila never ma-forfeit na yung seat nila dun sa House.
Right. And in that case, for example, it would go to the next party list group with the most votes.
Excuse me. Yung isang theory dyan is, of course, kung void ab initio, meaning hindi sila nag-exist, then that would mean na their votes will be removed doon sa pie ng votes. So, but then again, it's something that will already be decided, that should be decided upon by the COMELEC. So, outside na yun sa aming petition.
Okay, I see, sir.
And it's up na to other party list group who could potentially benefit from this to actually support the position and might lobby for the COMELEC to do a recomputation actually of the distribution of the House seat.
Wow, it could even go that far, no?
It could go that far.
So, sir,
That is precisely why dapat hindi kayo nag-exempt ng party list group with any rules because yung implication nito hindi mo mako-confine lang sa
to just that party list group, it would
yeah, exactly.
affect everyone else.
Exactly.
For you then, because you also opposed the withdrawal and then seeking seeking other petitions, for you, what should the COMELEC do or how should they act? Because there's so many different things that are being tackled here. For example, the withdrawal, the substitution again, and then the cancellation. How should you, also as someone who worked in COMELEC, how should they handle this?
Well, we are giving them the opportunity to rectify actually yung mali na nangyari with Duterte Youth. For example,
From the very beginning.
mali yung pag-approve dahil walang publication. Mali yung pag-approve dahil hindi nag-undergo ng hearing. Now we are filing them a petition for them to declare na void ab initio yung registration. We also filed a cancellation case against Duterte Youth. You know, that's their way out of it. That's their opportunity to rectify the wrong that has been done. And the thing is, I hope then na hindi na mag-compound yung more errors along the way. Kasi for example, mali na nga yung registration. Ngayon, nag-create pa kayo ng precedent na yung party list group pala pwede mag-withdraw, pwede mag-substitute after election. Ngayon, minodify nyo na naman yung rules. So, ang daming compounding errors along the way and parang the more kasi you make exception to the rule, nadidilute yung batas.
Right.
It will come to a point na wala nang silbi, ba't nagbatas pa tayo? Yun pala, kahit sino lang naman pala dyan na pwede ma-exempt, diba? Unfair yun sa na-dismiss na mga party list registrations before. Very unfair.
So, on that, sir, what kind of precedent would the COMELEC set if it were to go ahead and approve the withdrawal, the notice of withdrawal of Cardema, let's say? Diba in the past, the argument was it would also be dangerous if they even gave it due course, but that's already in the past. So, what kind of precedent would it set now if that were to happen?
Well, marami from the level ng rules, di ba? Maraming in-exempt and all. Pero yung pinakamasama na pwedeng idulot ng whole episode, Cardema episode na to ng party list system at saka sa COMELEC is that nabababo yung batas. Sino pa magre-respeto ng rules natin sa party list if mismo yung COMELEC would allow a person or a party list like Cardema or Duterte Youth na babuyin siya? Who will respect it? Wala. Yun na nga, that's why as election lawyers, we have to step in because we know precisely kung gaano kahalaga yung may rules para the next time that we apply for registration, we know our boundaries, we know yung ano ifa-follow namin. We know not to commit and what to commit. Pero kung gano'n naman pala ka-arbitrary na walang silbi yung rules, it can be bent anytime, then anong silbi namin? Anong silbi ng rules, diba? So ang point is very simple. It is the obligation of the COMELEC to implement the law and faithfully execute it. You know, it's not, they don't have the constitutional authority to amend the law. Their duty is to implement the law as defined it, period. Yeah.
Do you feel as though with everything that's happened, with the errors that have been committed, the law has been kind of amended?
Well, for example, one example is that yung approval lang ng second wave of withdrawal and substitution. Na, Resolution 9366 says the deadline for the withdrawal and substitution will be the close of polls. That's May 13, 2019. If you are implementing that provision of the rules, why will you admit a withdrawal in a substitution na ginagawa ng August?
Wait, not even a minute after the polls.
Yes, not
Months
even
after the
that.
polls.
It's like August. Now, what the COMELEC did to our opposition is they said na absurd daw. Sabi namin, basahin yung batas, basahin mo yung rules ng COMELEC. Ang sabi diyan, the only exception where you can admit withdrawal and substitution after ng election is the moment may vacancy sa House of Representatives. Kasi ang reason ng batas is very simple. Made-deprive mo ng representation yung sector the moment hindi mo i-fill in. So it presupposes na may na-proclaim, may nakaupo sa House, nagkaroon ng vacancy na exhaust yung list of nominees. Question, nangyari ba yung scenario na yan with Duterte Youth?
They haven't even made it.
No, because they haven't been proclaimed yet. Diba? How can there be a vacuum sa House of Representatives kung hindi pa nga siya na-proklama kasi nga hindi siya qualified? So, yun yung problema with this situation because we keep on making a lot of exceptions to accommodate certain people. And because of this, ano na mangyayari ngayon sa ating rules? Diba? Sino nare-respeto doon? So, that is why we received the copy of the rejection of our opposition. And we are still planning on what to do, but of course, under the rules, under the law, our only remedy now is to go up to the Supreme Court via a petition, a certiorari petition alleging grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excessive jurisdiction. So that's our remedy right now. We are studying the possibility of filing it. But as of now, of course, while filing it, we can only express our, of course, yung sama ng loob namin with what happened. And we want the public actually to keep on watching this case and to be vigilant. Because, yun nga, malingat ka lang ng konti, may nangyari na naman, di ba? Anyway. Yeah.
But sir, how do you see this playing out in the next few months? Do you still have hope that it could be rectified?
Siguro, dalawa naman to eh. There's the legal side and then there's public opinion. We know that the public is on our side. Yun na nga yung sinasabi namin, kung nakikita nga ng buong sambayan ng Pilipino that there's something wrong with this, why can't the right people see yung nakikita ng publiko? Di ba? I mean, hindi namin maintindihan yung part na yun. I mean, on the legal side naman, we can exhaust this. Sabi nga namin, hindi kami mapapagod dito. We will file all the appropriate oppositions, petitions to actually fight for this. Bahala na. I mean, yung side na yun, I mean, we'll do our best. But of course, gusto lang namin malaman ng public na we are happy actually to know that the public is on our side. It's on the side of the truth, di ba?
So you'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court if ever,
Well,
considering.
that's the last resort
Right.
namin to go up to the Supreme Court. Because nga, ang sabi nga namin, Diyos ko, you know, you don't have to be a lawyer. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, I showed you the provision in the law. I mean, even as a non-lawyer, you will know, you will get kung saan kami nanggagaling. Na nakasulat dyan, may deadline, tapos all of a sudden, exempt sila. Anong usapan yan?
Sir, what do you want the public to learn from this whole scenario? Because of course, it can get very technical, all the
Yes.
rules and everything.
Yes.
But what should it
Well, in fact, very happy kami because, 'di ba? Kung ang sabi ko nga doon sa isang tweet ko, if hindi naging vigilant actually yung public in watching this whole Cardema episode, malamang nakaupo na siya, congressman na siya, malamang nag-enjoy na siya ng pork barrel niya doon, 'di ba? So, but because the public was very vigilant, the public was with us since day one. Sinuportahan kami, they rallied behind us. So parang ang sarap ng feeling na pinaglalaban ka ng publiko or pinaglalaban mo yung publiko. So for us, we're very happy with the support. And what we want the public to do is that wag naman sana sila mapagod sa pagbabantay sa kasong to. Tuloy-tuloy lang. Kasi hindi kami, sabi ko nga, we will fight for this until the end. Hindi kami mapapagod sa kaka-file. We will make sure na sila yung mapapagod sa amin. Kasi in fact, I can't already remember how many petitions we filed in this case. Diba? We filed so many oppositions, we attended so many hearings. Of course, ang sabi nga namin, may gastos component to. Sino-shoulder na nga namin. We're not earning from this. But at the same time kasi, mahirap din na hindi ito ipaglaban.
Right, sir. Because of how blatant it's
exactly.
all the rules.
And how they rewrite the rules at their convenience.
Right. Okay, so with that, we'll definitely keep watching out
Maraming
for this
salamat.
and following the cases,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you for joining us today.
Maraming salamat.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is Rappler Talk. Join us again next time.
Bawal na ako sa